Hi, welcome. Linda Catan here. How are you today? I hope you're well. I am coming in this afternoon for my usual 4 o'clock. If you're new, welcome. If you've been coming and joining me, and maybe you've been away for a while and you came back in, welcome. So I've made some changes to the group and just changing up the content a little bit. I'm still an energy healer and a coach and intuitive guide. So I like to kind of bring all of that together and just to give you some of those words of wisdom, just observing some of the things that I'm seeing out in the field, things that are coming up. And one of the things that has been coming up and kind of hit me just before I came on here, because I was planning to do something else, is the whole idea around that first chakra, that survival, the survival energy. Because in all of the coaching sessions that I do, the rewiring sessions, the recode sessions that I do, it really boils down to fear of survival in the body. And that is a first chakra, a first layer of the aura place to be. And I'm sorry, my throat, I'm not sure what's happened today, but it's just gone. So I will turn up my volume and try to be a little louder. There we go. So when I was growing up, I had no idea really until I was much older that my fight or flight mechanism got stuck in the on position. So, especially at night, I was scared to death to fall asleep at night. Different things would happen. I'd hear lots of noises. I was, worried about being contacted by spirit. I was worried about my dreams. I was worried about my body being manipulated or possessed by spirit. I had a lot of fears, and I'm talking at a very, very young age. I was 2 years old and out in the hallway in the light, waiting for my father to call me down that hallway, and I go tearing out, fearful that something was going to grab me out of the dark. And I was 2 years old, 18 months old, 2 years old, barely walking. So, the unconscious fear and my fear in general was just really extreme. And that fight or flight just got stuck in the on position. We get triggered at any moment, right? A near miss on the freeway. I mean, how many times does that happen to us in a day, right? And we get triggered. Sometimes we stay in that state, and that's not a good place to be. And sometimes we get reactive to that state, especially if we're going to go into the fight mode. Don't chase anybody down the freeway. It's not a good idea. Right. So, it's funny because animals, they just turn that off. My dog will be alerted by something. He'll start barking. He'll be ferociously barking about something really bothers him. Someone's usually a person coming and maybe leaving a package. And then he'll just turn it off. And he's like, in a couple seconds later, he's just laying down there calm as can be. It's over for him. But we tend to keep that switch on. And the fight or flight gets triggered, and we can fight, we can flee, we can freeze. So this is something that actually I was not really consciously aware of until, like I said, much later in life. Was diagnosed by a psychologist who did biofeedback with me back in the day. That we call it something else now. I think it's neurofeedback, I think it is now. So that's how much the technology has changed, and even the verbiage has changed around it. But this doctor did diagnose me with my fight or flight being stuck in the on position. And how did he know that? He would put all these probes on me, and I just had 2 children, my second baby, by the way. And he sat me back in a recliner. And my jaw clenched. And that was one of my problems, is that I was clenching my jaw. I wasn't sleeping. When I did fall asleep, I fell asleep for an hour to 2 a night, I would wake up in the morning with my jaw completely locked shut. That was all stress induced while I was sleeping. So he did tell me, it's like, well, when you're leaning back in a chair, you just should not be clenching your jaw. And I had to agree with that. So the probes that he had on, I think, my heart, on my head, were attached to a computer, and the computer screen had these different bars, these graphs. We'd start out, he'd turn on the on button, and everything's red. And after, about a 45-minute session or so of putting me through meditation, self-hypnosis, I could get all of that red to actually turn green. And that was really awesome until I started to speak. The moment that this doctor asked me a question and I started to speak, the graphs went back to red instantly, just bam, all red. So it was a very frustrating situation. And frankly, after a year and a half, almost 2 years of treatment, we couldn't get that to just stay green. It's gonna do it. I have to say that over the years, I've learned different processes and in different ways to get it green. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not hooked up anymore, but I can tell in my body whether I'm on red alert or not. I call it red alert, when the fight or flight is engaged. So I thought I would address some of that first chakra information today, because for me, it goes all the way back down to childhood, and it most likely does that for you. And it's something that in current experience gets triggered from any variety of things. It could be a loud noise, right? That makes us jump. I don't know if you're jumpy. I jump easily to things like that. I startle because my body is always ready to fight or flight, right? It's usually ready to jump. So let's go ahead and do a little meditation. I'll do a little guided meditation with you here, and we'll just kind of observe. We'll take a look at that first chakra, what's going on with that, and let's just get it to relax a little bit. How about that? This is going to take a couple of minutes, so no worries. So if you are home, find a nice place to sit down. You're not doing this while driving. If you're driving, turn this off. So this is a closed eye process. So I'd like you to find a nice quiet place. Phones are off, not buzzing, not beeping. Nobody's walking in on you. The dog or the cat are not jumping up on you. So I just go ahead and find a nice place for you to sit down just for a moment to take some time out for you. This is really important that you take the time for you, especially if you have a hypersensitive nervous system like I do. You have to calm it down. It's really essential for your health, both mentally and physically. So take a nice deep breath in and just relax more and more into your body. And let's take another nice deep breath in. Again, eyes closed. And as you exhale, just breathe out and just relax more and more into your body. And a lot of people don't want to get into the body, but it's essential for you to be in your body. If you're not in your body, you are on red alert. Body needs to know somebody's home. And let's take one more deep breath in. And just relax more and more. And even more. Now I'd like you to go ahead and ground if you know how to do that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd like you to visualize at the base of your spine. That's right there where your first chakra is. And you're sitting on it. So just visualizing, taking your awareness there to the bottom of your spine and just visualizing a cord of energy going straight down from that first chakra all the way down into the center of the earth. And there's no time, there's no space. So it's just instantly there. Just let that happen. You can see that, visualize it, or just sense that it's there. You don't have to see anything. And just breathe and release. And just allow that line of energy to go straight down. It knows where to go. It has its own little docking station in there. It snaps in and it's ready to release. So I want you to go ahead and bring your awareness back to that first chakra at the base of your spine. You might feel it tingling, vibrating. I want you to go ahead and give it permission to release. Go ahead and start releasing now all of the energy that is not yours, all the energies that no longer serve you. And just start to notice what you notice as you breathe and release. That's right. Just relaxing more and more and just releasing even more. So good. Releasing the stress of the day. Anything that came up for you. Especially those things that are not yours, those things that you picked up from other people around you. Not yours. What are they doing there? Let them go. Just let that go. That's right. And just breathe and relax. And I'd like you to take a look at that first chakra. Just visualize it or imagine that you can visualize it and see if you notice a color. What color would it be if it were a color? And I'd like you to play with it a little bit. It's kind of like an old-fashioned camera lens. I'm dating myself here, but old-fashioned camera lens will kind of open and close. And you had that ability once upon a time to kind of zoom in and zoom out, open and closing the lens. So I'd like you to visualize or just have the intention that you can visualize where that is. If it had a number, about how open would that be? Is it wide open? Maybe it's 100%. When mine's wide open, I'm pretty uncomfortable, like a cat on a hot tin roof is what that's like. Or is it closed all the way down where you just don't have any energy whatsoever? This is your life force we're talking about. What does that feel like? Where is that set at right now? So wherever that is, I'd like you to start to adjust it. If it's wide open, I want you to start to slowly close it down. I want you to play with it. And notice what you notice changes in your energy, in the flow, and what you're feeling in your body. So you can open it up if it's really closed, and you can close it down to a place where it's most comfortable for you. Wherever you are, as a group, we could take this to say 50% open, closed, whichever way you're looking at that. The glass is half empty or it's half full, right? Take it to about 50%, whether you're opening that or closing it, and see what that feels like. Maybe take it down to a 40% or 35%, and see what that's like. You can take it all the way down, 20%, 10%, 0. Close it all the way down and see what that feels like. And notice what you notice. And then go ahead and slowly open it back up. 10%, 20%. Breathe. Is the color changing? What are you noticing? As you're releasing from that first chakra, what's that looking like? What's that feeling like? Just notice what you notice. And open up that chakra just a little bit more. 40, 50. Now let's open it up even wider. Let's go up to 60%. Notice what you notice. And if it gets too much, don't, just go back to where it's comfortable. Breathe. This is what the chakras do. They open and they close. They do it automatically on their own, but now you're taking some control over that. Maybe it's the first time you notice that you have control over this. And again, notice what that feels like. What's it like to have control over this? And if you'd like to go ahead and open it up some more, 75, 80%. And just notice what you notice. And let's just go back down to 50%. 40%, 35%. Really good. And just know that as you need energy during the day, it will open and close for you automatically. It knows where to set. Now you may have an automatic set point like I had, which was wide open. Especially at night, that's not a great time for that to be wide open. So now you have a tool where you can close that down to where it's comfortable. Take yourself off of survival mode to get some sleep, to get some rest. We're so busy processing so much information all day long, and then we take it into our sleep time. And while we're out on the astral, the body is still back here dealing with all of the stress of the day, the week, the month, the year. Take a nice deep breath in. And now just set the intention that your chakra can go to whatever level is comfortable for you, knowing that you can come back anytime and you can play with the openness or closedness of it. You have that control now. Really good. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come on back, or you can stay in that meditative state. Some people say that they have such a hard time meditating. Part of the reason is that this chakra is wide open. The body's on that red alert, and it just can't settle down. Settle down the body, settle down the mind. It's harder to settle down the mind sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to go in reverse by settling down that body first. Change your physiology, change your psychology. Great. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments how that went for you. You know, what color did you see? How open or closed were you when you started out? What's it like to actually take control of that and open and close it for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Great to have you here, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.